Quick question. If I told you that hard work is not the main reason people become rich, would you believe me? Because here's the uncomfortable part. Most poor and middle-class people work harder physically than most rich people ever will. So if hard work isn't the key, what actually is? Stick with me for the next few minutes because I'm going to show you the real code-specific psychological switches backed by research that separate the people who stay stuck from the people who break out. Here's the trap almost everyone falls into. We treat success like a lock with one key. Some people think that key is hard work. Others think it's luck or connections or smart work or being born with the right specialized knowledge. So we pick one key, jam it into the lock, and when it doesn't turn, we assume the lock is broken. Or worse, we assume we're broken. But success isn't a lock with one key. It's a lock with a combination, several things that have to click into place in the right order. And most people never even see the full combination, so they spend years turning the same single key, wondering why nothing opens. If you've ever worked incredibly hard and still felt stuck, this is why. You weren't lacking effort. You were missing pieces of the code. There's actually solid psychological research behind this combination. Let me break it into parts. 1. Turn your pain into fuel. Behavioral psychology has a simple rule. Humans act for one of two reasons to move toward pleasure or to move away from pain. Most people try to numb their pain, bad finances, embarrassment, being overlooked. But high performers do the opposite. They let the pain stay sharp enough to keep moving. Not to suffer, to stay motivated. Pain you avoid controls you. Pain you convert becomes fuel. 2. Rewrite your self-image before your bank account changes. This is where most self-help advice actually gets it backwards. People think, I'll believe I'm successful once I become successful. But identity-based change research, the kind popularized in habit formation psychology, shows the opposite order works better. You don't wait for evidence to change your identity, you build a new identity, and your actions start matching it. Someone who sees themselves as a person who's building something makes different daily choices than someone who sees themselves as stuck. 3. Ask better questions. Most people spend their attention on questions that lead nowhere. What happened in the news, what someone else has, why things are unfair. High performers redirect that same mental energy toward questions that actually produce direction. How did that person solve this? What skill would make this problem disappear? Who already knows what I need to know? The quality of your questions quietly sets the ceiling on the quality of your answers. 4. Validate through action immediately. Knowledge that sits in your head untested is just entertainment. The fastest learners don't collect information, they collect feedback. They take a piece of advice, apply it that same day, in some small form, and watch what happens. That loop learn, apply, observe, adjust compounds far faster than months of passive learning ever could. 5. Endure delayed rewards. This one has actual long-running research behind it. Psychologists studying self-control and delayed gratification in children found something that held up in various forms for decades afterward. Kids who could resist an immediate reward in order to get a bigger one later tended to do better academically and behaviorally as they grew up. Later, researchers pushed back on how much of that effect is pure willpower versus circumstances. Some found that a person's background and environment shape their ability to wait just as much as self-control does. Either way, the pattern is consistent. The ability to trade a smaller reward now for a bigger one later is one of the most reliable predictors of long-term outcomes we have in psychology. And the good news, researchers have shown this isn't a fixed trait, it's a skill you can train. Put those 5 together, pain converted to fuel, a rebuilt identity, sharper questions, immediate action, and trained patience, and you're not relying on luck anymore. You're running the combination. Quick gut check. Answer honestly in your head. Are you avoiding your pain or using it? Are you waiting to feel successful or acting like it now? Are you asking questions that inform you or just distract you? When you learn something good, do you use it in 24 hours or let it die in your notes app? And last one, can you actually sit with discomfort for a bigger reward, or do you always take the smaller thing now? However you answered, that's your starting point. Not a verdict, a map. Here's the truth. Nobody puts in the thumbnail. None of these 5 things are hard to understand. They're hard to practice consistently, alone, without any structure. If you want a simple way to track that, drop a comment with which one of the 5 you're starting with: pain, identity, questions, action, or patience. And if this kind of breakdown is useful to you, subscribe, and take care of yourself.